Hello again everyone, and welcome to video number 20 of my Linux Commands for Beginners tutorial series. And in this video I'm going to give you a brief introduction to scripting. Now this is something that I've mentioned before in previous videos, specifically my mini series on permissions. And in those videos I mentioned that you can actually set an executable bit, which basically marks a text file as being able to be executed as if it were a program. So in this video I'm actually going to demonstrate that and how it works. Now, as you probably already know, a script is basically just a text file that includes one or more commands. And basically when you run the text file as a script, the command interpreter will execute each command inside the text file one after another until it gets to the end. So basically, to create a script, we need to create a text file, and we'll use our trusty text editor, Nano, to do that. And you can call your script anything you want. I'm going to call mine my script and press enter. Now, the very first thing that your script must contain as the very first character, or starting with the very first character, is called a hash bang, which is basically pound !bin/bash, just like that. And basically that's required in your script because it tells it that the command interpreter that you want to use is bash. Now for most of you though, the bash program is probably the only shell that you'll have unless you're using BSD or Unix or some form or fashion of Unix. But for most of you, the command or the script will probably work without it, but it's considered proper form to include this, so I recommend that you do as well. And I've also noticed that some GUIs will look at this and see if it's the first thing in the text file and show a command for a bash script, for example. So it's generally a good idea to have it. So basically, after you type your hash bang, you can type any command you want. So for example, I'll type ls. That's easy enough. Control O to write out the file. I'll press enter, and Control X to exit. Now, we can't execute this file yet because we haven't given it the executable permission. Now if you recall, to do that we type chmod +x in the name of the file. And if I do a permission or a listing on this, you'll see that it has executable permissions across the board. So as long as the owner at least has execute permissions, you should be good. So to execute the script, you type // in the name of the script file. So my script is mine. I'll press enter, and all it did was just execute the ls command. So this is actually a pretty worthless script because it takes longer to type out my script than it would take just to type ls, as you can see here. But anyway, you get the idea. Now if I recall the nano command here and go back into the command, you'll get an idea. Basically all it did was just execute the ls command, and if I type another command here, it'll execute that as well. So if I type echo that was a file listing, just like that, Control O, Control X, and if I execute the script again, you'll see that it did an ls. The my script file is the only file that I have in this folder, and then it did the echo command. So basically all it did was execute the ls command and then the echo command. It basically executes each command one after another going straight down. Now scripting does get more advanced than this, of course, because you can have if statements, while loops, and so on. So we're not going to get into that too heavily just yet. Anyway, as one last example, I could also do variables here as well. Hello message equals hello YouTube. That's easy enough. So I'll save the file and close it, and then I'll execute my script again. And of course I didn't actually echo my variables, so of course it didn't do anything. Sorry about that. Echo hello message. And anyway, you see that as in the last video, I created a variable called hello message, and when I recall the variable I have to use a $sign in front of it. So anyway, I'll save the file again, and this time it'll actually work. Hello YouTube. pretty easy. So basically the takeaway from this video is to create a script. It's just basically a text file. You have to set the execute permission before or after you save the text file. You have to have the execute permission there. And the first thing in your script has to be the hash bang, which is pound !bin/bash. Then after that, the rest is up to you. You can type whatever Linux commands you want, one after another, and you'll create a script. Now, you can actually create very useful scripts that can make Linux administration a breeze, and you can actually automate very, very important tasks. As an example, at my current job, there was a process that takes 40 hours of hands-on work to complete. It's just the most horrible thing I've ever been tasked with doing. But what I've done with a bash script is I actually automated the entire process to where it's a hands-off process that takes 40 minutes. Basically, instead of 40 hours, you instead just execute the command and it processes all the files that the process requires you to process. And it takes 40 minutes, but after you get it started, you just walk away and you come back and check it later and it's done. So bash scripting is definitely something that should not be taken lightly. It is very, very powerful. And if you want to learn more about bash scripting, I actually have a dedicated video series for that. So if you are interested, look on my channel, and at the time I'm recording this video, I think I have somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 videos in that series done so far. I forget the exact number. So if you want to learn more about scripting, then definitely check that series out. But even if not, I at least wanted you to get eyes on how this type of thing works, on what a script is, how you create one, and how you execute one. And that's basically all it is for this video. So with that said, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the views and all the subscribers. So I'll be recording my next video pretty soon. Stay tuned for that, and I'll see you soon.